So today I kind of wanted to talk about a movie that I saw a while ago, but still is kind of burned into my memory forever. And that would be the infamous Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania movie that came out. Let me see actually when it came out. It came out in February, so at the time of this recording, it's been about 2-ish months since I saw it when it first came out, and this movie, like I said, is burned into my memory like a panini press. Holy shit, was this movie awful. And when I say awful, I mean it is as bad as the 1997 Batman and Robin movie that had Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. It is crazy. Let me give you guys the rundown on the plot right now, and there may be spoilers in here, so just a disclaimer, if you don't want spoilers, then click off now, but if you don't care, which I'm assuming you don't because it's an Ant-Man Quantumania, go ahead and keep watching because I don't recommend watching this movie anyways. Basically, this takes place after Endgame, where they fought off Thanos and won. It is Scott Lang going around doing his own thing, and he doesn't really know what to do with his life anymore. He was, a superhero, and he lived and breathed being a superhero, but he's not like Captain America, where he's constantly doing superhero things. He's more of like a Bollywood superhero, as I'd say. I guess he's still part of the Avengers, but he's not doing Avengers things all the time. So while he was gone, his daughter Cassie grew up, and I guess she got involved with a bunch of protests and stuff and got herself arrested a few times, and that's a very minuscule thing in this movie. Basically, it starts off is that her and Pym, the original Ant-Man dude, the creator of the Pym particles, they had been secretly working on this quantum satellite that basically sends a signal down to the quantum realm and sends it back up, and they can kind of map out the quantum realm, which is huge. I don't know how you'd be able to map out a place that big. Janet, which is Pym's wife, was stuck down there for 30 years or something, and she's traumatized by it, and they show that at the beginning how she gets stuck down there. But basically she gets help from this guy, and you later find out his name is King the Conqueror, who I think is supposed to be the next Thanos. He swallows entire multiverses or some shit. He destroys entire universe bloodlines and stuff like that. I don't know, it's really weird, but she's about to help him get out, and then realizes what he's done and basically leaves him there to die. Eventually the satellite engulfs them like a black hole and sends all of them into the quantum realm, which is interesting. And so the whole time they're in the quantum realm, basically I think within the first 20 or 30 minutes they go to the quantum realm, and they find out that it's basically what I've heard from different people, and I would have to agree, is that it's like they tried to create Star Wars in this quantum realm, but did a very awful job at it. It's like Star Wars, but its ugly cousin. It is so bad. It's just them running around this place trying to get out, but then they realize that King the Conqueror has this guy named Modoc who's running around killing a bunch of villages in the quantum realm because there's people down there, I guess. And so this Modoc guy, he ends up being one of Pym's associates, or he was the most promising prospect that Pym had whenever he was still like working his big CEO office job, whatever. It's a little hard to explain, but basically he like got sent down to the quantum realm. His name's Darren, by the way. I didn't even remember who this guy was. He just came out of left field and started in this movie as Modoc. But if you don't know, the CGI for Modoc is horrendous. Here's a picture of Modoc in the comics, how he's supposed to look like, and then like here's a picture of Modoc in the movie, and it is so bad. Every time they showed Modoc in the movie, everyone would just start dying laughing, the whole theater, because of how awful he looked. Yeah, it's just basically the whole time Scott and Cassie, they're separated from Hank and Janet and the Wasp. I can't remember her name. Hope, that's her name. So yeah, Hope, Hank, and Janet are like together. Scott and Cassie are together, and they're like fighting their own separate battles, but eventually like converge to fight Kang the Conqueror because he's still down there in Modoc. The plot itself isn't bad, and I would say the CGI for the most part for the movie is okay. The backgrounds are decent. Some of the models are fine, but like some of the critical CGI people, like Modoc, one of the main characters in this story, just looks awful. Like, I can't believe someone would take that to a higher up on the movie set and say like, oh, what do you think? And the person's like, oh yeah, that looks good, let's put that in the movie. like why would you put that in the movie? It just looks so awful. And there's at one point they showed Modoc like naked, like his little naked weird deformed body. It's just, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way. The writing itself is so bad. It is probably the worst scripted movie I've seen in a long time, because it's not like a movie like Scary Movie or something where they're intentionally trying to be bad. So like you can't really ding them on writing a horrible script when it's supposed to be like that. That's the whole premise of Scary Movie itself. But this movie was like not aiming at that. They were trying to be more serious. They just punch you in the face with comic relief all the time, and the acting is hit or miss in some scenes, but like I think I can tell that it's because of the writing. The script that makes it so bad is because they just write awful scenes. It's just one of those things that you have to kind of watch to get a feel for, because there's one scene where Cassie's fighting Modoc, and she has an Ant-Man suit too, so she becomes big and like kicks Modoc around, and he's on the ground all hurt, and he was like, oh, like I'm always so mean, but I don't know how to change. And she just goes, well, just don't be a dick. It just walks away, and then he like takes that to heart and changes, because she's just like, don't be a dick. And then the rest of the time he's like, you know what, I'm not gonna be a dick. Like, come on. It's just, I can't believe they put that in the script. At that point I was sitting there in the movie theater like, what the fuck just happened? Why would they put that in a movie script? That is some awful writing. Towards the end, it just gets kind of bad with the writing. Eventually they just try to save it with an end battle scene, which is decent, like all Marvel movies though. Like if I wanted to see a really good end fight scene, I'd go watch Endgame or Infinity War. Compared to other Marvel movies, it's not special. So yeah, I definitely would not recommend watching it unless you just want to like make fun of it and laugh your ass off the whole time because of how bad it is. Like I was with a group of friends watching this, and probably 30 to 40 minutes through the movie, I turned to one of them and I was like, what am I watching? Like, I want to leave already, but I somehow managed to sit through like the 2-hour garbage that was put in front of my face. But I've been a little harsh on it, but for good reason. They should take a lot more time and be careful on how they do things, because I think they've gotten a lot more sloppy with Marvel movies coming out after Endgame. Other than the Spider-Man No Way Home, that was a good movie, but all the other ones were like pretty bad. I think this one has the lowest rating besides Marvel Eternals out of all Marvel movies, so just to give you a sense of how bad it is, like it's not just me who thinks it's bad. So anyways, I'd probably rate this like a 53%. It's a no-see movie. Do not see this movie unless it's free or like you don't have anything else to do and you're so bored that you need something to watch. Even then, I just recommend watching something else. Any other Marvel movie pretty much would be better. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on this movie since it was still burned in my brain like a ghost. Like I just had a nightmare, you know, sleep paralysis in my bed. Yeah, that's about it. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.